that Brooklyn. Now I'm
So, this is my second video movie review, right?
Yeah, second.
And we just watched
Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close.
I keep reversing those.
I got it right the first time. That time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed.
So we saw that. We went to go see it with Vinny and Katrina, who declined to be part of our
movie review, which is pretty upsetting.
Yeah, it's a little
Usually
upsetting.
Vinny is joining us. But
Yeah. Yeah, and Vinny is very opinionated. However, Vinny shared a different opinion of this movie than you and I did, so it's probably best, because he thinks he's right all the time. So.
Yes. So we probably wouldn't get any say in this
Exactly.
entire video. So.
Exactly. So, so go ahead. What are your thoughts on this movie?
Well, I'm just going to start off by saying I did cry in the movie. So if that says anything, you know, I guess it was worth seeing.
Okay.
But there's definitely times during the movie where it just became kind of obnoxious.
Yeah.
And I think looking at your facial expressions during this entire movie,
Mine?
Yes, was made it pretty obvious that that was the case.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. It's, what, like a 2-hour and 15-minute movie?
Yeah, it's pretty long. I mean, I don't think it needs to be that long either.
No. It's that long of a movie. My favorite part of the movie was the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely agree.
Because the child in it, they do a really good job of hiding in the previews the fact that he's a really annoying little child.
They do.
He's actually pretty obnoxious. He's
in every way.
Pretty rude.
Yeah, before anything even happens.
Yeah.
What does he call one of the characters in the movie? He pretty much just insults.
Yeah.
And how old is he?
Like,
he's like 12, right?
Yeah, he's like 12, and he says something about, like, he tells the doorman to, like, lick his ball sack.
Yeah,
or something
like
that.
just
like,
unbelievable.
What?
We're like, wait.
Why is a 12-year-old telling this person to
lick his balls? Like,
yeah. Inappropriate.
Inappropriate, definitely.
Okay, I can understand. Like, I mean, the previews give this away, so I'm not giving anything away. Like, the father dies. Okay, he dies in 9/11. I get your father died. Like, you're going through post-traumatic stress. It's understandable that, like, you're gonna be,
angry,
you know, upset and angry, confused,
pent up.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, just to be a little shit, like, he was a little shit before his father even died. Like, because when they do flashbacks of before his father died,
he was pretty awful.
He was kind of a little shit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, like, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt because of that, but he was just so obnoxious, he was intense, he was loud.
Which I guess the title of the movie pretty much explains that.
Yes, but I thought...
I thought it wouldn't be about him.
Yeah, I guess I thought that would be more about, like, the events surrounding 9/11. You know, I read a review before going in to see this movie, which I don't normally do. This was, like, out of character for me, but... I read this review, and the person who wrote the review said it best when he said that the 9/11 was less of an event and more of a character of the story.
Which pretty much sums it up perfectly. Because I was thinking about it after, I'm like, I wonder if that's really accurate.
Yeah, and it
really is.
Yeah, I was expecting to cry more, like, because the previews make it seem like it's going to be, like, super emotional, and it's not emotional in the same kind of way that you expect it to be. Like, it doesn't, like, there were times when I almost cried. Like, I did almost cry.
And then they kind of, like, switch it. Like, that's when I realized is, like, it was, like, prime time for me. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm, like, buttered up. Like, I'm ready. Like, I'm about to cry. And then they would switch it up, and then it would suddenly be irritating. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm just irritated.
More than anything, the word that I would describe for this movie is frustrating. Like, I was frustrated throughout so much of the movie because this little kid was just so, like, I just... no words.
Yeah,
I just kind of wanted to hurt him.
There was definitely times, like, pretty much, like, 30% of the movie, I was kind of like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, just for the child, because he was, I mean, like she said, it was frustrating. There was definitely the scene when I realized that, like, holy crap, this kid is, like, he needs to be on needs to be on medication. Something needs to happen because he's completely lost his mind.
Yeah.
Was when he gets off. He's looking at the world for the first time. He's kind of experiencing New York, you know, which is definitely a large, scary thing, especially for a child.
Yeah.
But the thing is that he's experiencing, it was the train passing over.
Yeah. He's afraid of most things.
He's definitely, I should say that, he definitely is afraid of, anything. He was afraid of swings, and it was insane. He was screaming about everything. He was like, and the noises, and the sound, and the music, everything. He was just screaming. It was just unbelievable for no reason.
The people eating! A good name for this movie, too, would have been, like, extremely spastic. Because he hasn't really spoken to anybody about, like, what has happened since his father died. And so he's finally, like, coming out, and it just all just sort of, like, unravels at once, and he just, like, can't even, like, get the breath to tell it all. And so the way they show it in the film is, like, he's talking over himself, like he's,
literally just, like, the cut screen next sentence. It was, literally, like, he didn't breathe.
His voice overing his own voice.
It was insane.
Like, it's just layers of his own voice.
I think it was supposed to be meant to show, like, his anxiety.
Like, I respect the decision of the director to do that, to show his anxiety, because it did. It showed anxiety. It made me anxious listening to it. But it also made me so irritated. The parts where the child was, like, getting super worked up about were things, like, you would think he would get worked up because he's like, and my father died in 9/11 and I just don't have any answers, I don't get it. Like, you would think that would be where he's yelling, but no, he's yelling when he's like, and then I knocked on the door.
And she answered, and then she told me where to go.
Yeah.
It was just, like, unbelievable.
And she was so sweet! Like, with my own experience, like, I've battled anxiety for a really big chunk of my life, but I never really had such intense anxiety at that like at 12. Like, no. What do I have to be anxious about at 12? So I guess, like, in that sense, like, to be 12 years old and to portray, like, such anxiety over the loss of, like, obviously, like, one of the most important people in your life, your father. In that sense, I have to give him credit. I have to, I have to say, like, good job, whatever your name is.
Yeah. The guy who can't speak.
Right, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I enjoyed his character.
I did. I enjoyed him a lot. He was, like, once his character was introduced, I kind of almost instantly enjoyed him.
I did. I want to know more about him, though. Like,
exactly, yeah.
And what sucks is that, like, because he couldn't speak, he only wrote, sentence by sentence. Not even sentence, like, word by word.
Yeah, I felt like the contrast of, like, the child, like, just nonstop speaking. He spoke, like, so much, and then for that man to not speak at all and only write, that's neutral. I think that's what made you want to learn so much more about him.
It was so obnoxious. Like, he asked, like, 10 questions, and then obviously the guy doesn't speak, and then he goes, well, maybe you should just try my name. He was just so obnoxious about it. Like,
I was so expecting for him to, like, speak for the first time and be like, just shut up.
Yeah, like,
just stop talking.
Stop talking.
This movie kind of broke my heart a little bit because, you didn't really get a whole lot of sense of the mother-son relationship for the most part at all. Like,
pretty much the entire movie until the end.
Yeah, but when you do get, like, glimpses into their relationship, it's usually like he has some sort of and you don't really ever know why.
No, it was horrible.
But he basically has, like, full-on hatred for her.
Literal hatred.
Like, he literally says to her, I wish it was you that died.
And what was so terrible about it was that she literally said, I wish the same thing.
Yeah.
It sucks because he knows what he's saying. He apologizes right afterwards and says, I really didn't mean that. And she says, yes, you did.
Yeah, you definitely did.
I do have to say I really enjoyed the one woman. She's from the movie Help.
Oh, yes. Her name, Viola Davis.
Nice.
He's pretty much trying to preserve the memory of his father by going on this quest, because that's what they did when he was still alive. So he's going on this, like, sort of final quest to perhaps learn more about his father. He thinks that there's this clue left specifically from his father. So he goes to this first stranger's house and is, like, pretty much forces himself through, even though, like, it's very clear she's going through, like, a domestic issue. Like, she's going...
Definitely. She's clearly upset.
She's clearly upset.
She tells him to leave.
Yeah, she closes the door in his face, basically.
And he forces himself in this person's life.
If I was her, I would honestly be like, listen, child.
I don't know you.
I don't know who you are. I don't have time to play your stupid little games. Like, I'm going through some really serious, emotional, adult shit right now. Like, I'm going through some stuff. Like, just leave.
Please.
But no, she lets him in, and then, like, this kid snoops around.
Yep, all the open boxes that are, like, clearly being moved. Yeah. And then awkwardly he goes, well, can I take your picture then?
Yeah.
And she's like so upset. She's like crying. And then so she covers her face, and then he takes the picture like this. This is what the picture looks like, and it's sad. I mean, it's a good picture, but I'm just saying.
It was a really good, like, sort of artistic looking picture.
Yeah,
it's like,
but it was like,
this is what you want to remember her by.
Yeah, she was
crying. Yeah. I guess cutting to the end, like I was finally happy with the movie, or at least I was finally not irritated with the movie when, like. I mean, the child is freaking out hardcore because he's come to the end of his journey and still has no answers. He feels like it's a waste. He feels like he's failed, you know. And the mom, you know, like comes in and finally like reveals like, hey, guess what? I've kind of been taking this journey with you, and I've kind of had your back basically this whole time. Even though like you were a complete shit to me and said that you wanted me to be the one to die. Like, I've still, like, had your best interest at heart and, you know, still cared enough about you to make sure that you didn't get raped or killed.
Yeah, because pretty much the entire movie he was not at home.
It's hard to let your 12-year-old go on this quest, wandering about the streets of New York City.
Especially right after 9/11.
So overall,
definitely,
my feeling is that I would like to give credit where credit is due. Like, the acting was great. The story was great. Like, as much as I hated the little boy, like, I kind of like that they made him like an unlikable character. I don't think that I would see it again, but I don't regret seeing it the first time. Like, it was okay. It was okay.
It definitely was okay. I feel like it definitely went full circle for me. It was long, but I feel like the story content was interesting. I wanted to know what was going to happen the entire time.
Yeah.
Even though, you know, it was a long movie, but, like, it definitely had my attention, you know.
Yeah. That's
annoying
the thing, too.
Times, like, you know, but it wasn't boring.
I have to say, like, as long as the movie was, and there were times when I thought, like, okay, when are we going to get down to it? Like, when are we finally going to get some more answers? As much as I felt that, I also felt like, again, I wasn't bored. It always sparked a reaction. Like, I reacted a lot to it. Not necessarily the best reaction, but a reaction nonetheless, and I think that's still a success. Yeah, I still consider that a success for getting a reaction. So, overall, good movie, but, you know, maybe not one of my favorites.
I definitely agree. But I definitely think you guys should go see it.
Yes, and I would be interested to know, like, anybody who has seen it or will see it. I would be interested to see other people's take on it as well. I haven't really heard any other reviews, so I would be interested to see what other people have to say about it. So
yeah,
all right, well,
definitely,
yeah.
Well, Tyler,
K-Funk,
peace.
Peace.